Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This video is long overdue. The first time I filmed this video was last year in, I think, August. I wanted to post the same video, but I realized that there was some information that I wanted to add to the video and update. I'm going to be talking about my admission and visa process. Disclaimer, I am not an immigration consultant. I am going to talk based off of my experience. First things first, I think it's also important for me to mention that I used an agency to get my admission, and they also helped me with my visa process. To be honest, I got the admission before I met the agency, but because they have an affiliation with the school and for them to also get their commission and things like that, I declined that and then got the admission through this agency that has the affiliation with the school. That's a mouthful, but does that make sense? I have a list of questions that I actually want to touch on in this video. So if you see me looking down, I'm looking at my list. Okay. I studied interactive digital media, Master of Science, and I got my degree from Griffith College. What documents did I submit to get the admission? Personal statement, extremely important. You have to have a strong personal statement. IELTS, although that was not necessary for me, I had a valid IELTS at that point, so the guy from the company was like, it wouldn't hurt to submit it. My degree certificate, my transcript, passport data page, CV. I don't think I submitted reference letters, to be honest. If I did, it was probably one from my place of work. Those were the things I submitted to get the admission. Now, talking about the visa process, you guys, this was the most challenging bit of it, the visa process. So you have to gear up, you have to prepare your mind, because the struggle is really struggling. This visa process, if I didn't have the company guiding me, I honestly might have missed to submit a few things. I would have definitely missed a step because the requirements were a lot. I did not expect it to be that much. I was thinking the requirements would be the same as UK, but it is a lot, and it's a lot more rigorous compared to UK. There were a lot of things that I thought were unnecessary, but I still submitted them and I still went with them. And even during the submission process, although they didn't ask for most of the things I went with, if I didn't go with it, that's now when they'll not ask for it. So it's better to go with everything and they don't ask for it than to go with little and they ask for a lot. Even though I think some of the things were unnecessary, I cannot tell if it would have affected the decision. I submitted my 6 months pay slip. I know I did not submit my business bank statement because I was thinking I wanted to submit my business bank statement, but he was like that it would complicate things, so I should just leave out my business bank statements. And I think I only submitted my work bank statements to show salaries. It's very foggy now. Honestly, I don't remember submitting any of my bank statements. It was just sponsors bank statement. I had to notarize a lot of documents. It is advisable to use a parent's bank statement. Even if you're sponsoring yourself or somebody else is sponsoring you, it is advisable to use a parent, and they need to submit their 6 months pay slip. They have a business, they have to submit letter saying this is the type of business they do. If there's any lump sum in their bank statements, they have to explain that lump sum. They have to swear an affidavit of financial support. They have to get a letter from their employer. You also need to write like a personal statement for the visa process, different from the one you wrote to get your admission. Yes, stating why Ireland is the best place for you to study at this point and the best place for you to study the course you're studying. Talk about how you use the knowledge you gain to kind of better your country. I was scammed when I went for my interview or submission or whatever. I was scammed. All those people that would always approach you, oh sister, come and snap passport picture, this is what you need for the embassy you're going to, this is, come and print this. The printing at the embassy is always like 3-4 times higher than the normal printing you do outside. I met one guy that was like, oh, you have to print all the pages of your passport. To be fair, right, I feel like I have heard that before, and I had like 5 passports, you guys. I started printing all the pages. I started photocopying all the pages. I was like, God, the bill was just going up. I photocopied all of these pages and they didn't ask me for it. I think they just asked me for the data page of all of them, not the individual pages, because I photocopied even the ones that did not have visa on them. All the pages I photocopied, every single thing. Those people ate my money that day, sha. But it's better that it happened and they didn't ask me for it than I didn't do it and they asked me for it. It's important to do all your photocopies and all your printings outside before that day, if possible. If there's a company or an agency that is helping you out, ask them if you need to photocopy all the pages of your passport. Do all of this before that day. It will save you a lot of money. So my visa took about 2 weeks and a couple days, maybe 2 weeks and 3 days for it to come out. Mine didn't take, if I remember correctly, it wasn't up to 3 weeks. Oh yeah, you also need to get your insurance, your medical insurance. Very important. I think mine cost about 150 euro. The appointment cost about 21,000, but I know there are other things that regarding the appointments that I paid for that brought it up to like 40k or 40k plus. You also have to register with the school before you get into Dublin, and I'm guessing it might depend on the school, but with my school I was supposed to register with the school to give me like a document to present to immigration officer when I got to Dublin, but I didn't know that part, so I did not register with the school. But I had a similar document that I showed the immigration and they didn't even ask me for the other one. Let me just break down the cost of everything. The visa application cost me 21,000, but there are other things that made it up to 40k, so budget around 50,000 for visa application. Medical insurance was 150 euro. All the printing, budget 40k. Notarization, just budget about 30,000 plus. You have to also factor in your errands, Uber, if you're driving, fuel, and all that. This is not the end of the video because I got a lot of questions from you guys in my DM, so I kind of put those questions together that I would answer in this video, like immigration and admission questions. So I'm just going to go ahead and quickly answer those questions. Are there easier ways to pay for tuition fee from Nigeria to Ireland? I don't know about easier, but Form A is cheaper. It takes longer. If you want to go the shorter route, you can do black market, but exchange rates. I would say Form A, but start early enough. Information about proof of funds. How much is needed in Naira? Honestly, I can't remember how much, but I would say you should be able to show that you've paid the school fees, because before you go for your visa application, you have to have paid the complete school fees. You have to show that you have enough money for at least, in my case, we did at least 1 year accommodation. You have to show that you have at least feeding for 1 year, and then miscellaneous. So I would say if you can show proof of at least 35,000 euro. The school fees covered, accommodation and feeding and miscellaneous, everything is covered, and you have medical insurance. Is it okay to apply for visa from China or go back to Nigeria? I don't know. Immigration people in the house, if anybody has information on this, please leave it in the comments. When traveling to Ireland, did you say someone was sponsoring you or is it self-sponsor? Okay, it's one of the things I talked about earlier on in the video, so I've already answered that question. Did you go for face-to-face interview at the embassy? It wasn't more of an interview, it was more of submission and just like, let's say, Q&A. So it wasn't like an American type of interview that you know that interview would determine whether you're getting the visa or not. The person is just collecting your documents. They don't have anything to do with the decision making, I think, and just making conversations. If yes, what are the major vital questions they asked? They aren't any. Prepare yourself. If they ask you, what are you going to do? Why are you going there to do what you're going to, like, why are you going to school there? Why this course? Where are you going to stay? And who is sponsoring this? So just have those basic questions sorted out in your mind. Which method did you use to pay for your school fees? Form A. Did you do bank reference letter and police clearance report? Yes, bank reference is important because it's just the bank saying you have an account with them, just verifying your information for the embassy. I don't remember doing police clearance report. Does Irish embassy accept school attestation or recommendation letter if someone's result is not yet out? Yeah, I don't know. The copy of the documents you made, is it black or white? white or colored. I did colored and I did black and white, and I did photocopy. How long is the visa process? Usually they would say 5 weeks, so but mine wasn't up to 3 weeks. It was like 2 weeks and some days. How much did the visa process cost? I've already answered that. What is the flight price like? This one depends on the flight you are choosing to take. Just go online, check flights from Nigeria to Dublin. Something will always pop up. British Airways, check Turkish Airlines. Turkish Airlines is always the cheaper option. So I can already see my battery beeping, but at least it gave us time to come to the end of this video. I hope this video was worth it. If you've watched till this end, that means you kind of really need this information. I'm happy you watched till this end, and I hope it was worth it for you. Please always do your own research with these things. Like, I've given you information based on my own experience and some of the things online, but always do your own research. You always come up with something that is probably updated. Thank you guys for stopping by, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.